been associated with the university for about a year now. Visited the earlier campus last year, and when I understood the motivation and the planning for the university, it was quite remarkable. And frankly, I did not think that in 1 year's time it would progress this much. I think it's a testament to the remarkable set of people who have been leading it, and already Anuragji pointed out several of them, and I'm sure he was modest enough not to mention himself in that. But it's clearly, whether it is board of directors or governors or advisory board, the university leadership, the set of wonderful donors who have made all of this possible, it is truly remarkable. Even more so, when I look at the way university system has evolved in our country. We started with large government-funded universities that were at some point in time fantastic. But over the time, they just, for whatever, one reason or the other, went down the hill. And today we have a situation where hardly any government-funded general university is, you would hardly find it doing well. There are exceptions, of course. But what you do find is very specialized universities, whether they are IITs or IIMs, and they are doing quite well. But being specialized comes with a big downside, which is that the flow of ideas from different domains gets limited. It is very important to have a university that spans all major domains of inquiry, have students and faculty, good students, good faculty in those domains, and have them at one place. That is when true creativity takes place. Attempts early have been made in the private domain for setting up such universities. But inspired from the success of the specialized universities in the government sector, initial attempts were either also specialized, and I can take some example like Ashoka University. They started with a strong focus on the liberal arts side. Probably Ajit Premji University also in this had a similar focus. Or there were universities with a lot more commercial bent of mind, which probably will never reach the heights that we should be aspiring to. I find Chanakya that way is, in my understanding and knowledge, the first such experiment where right from day one, the idea is to bring all major domains of inquiry into one roof, under one roof. They have already 6 major schools established, covering various aspects of inquiry, and at the same time aspire for excellence. It is not a commercial activity. This attempt has to succeed. I think for the good of the nation, it has to succeed. Because we need many more such attempts, of course, but such attempts are very critical for the progress of the nation. Of course, I'm not here belittling the contributions that IITs and other institutions can make. I am coming from one of those institutions. But the perspectives and the dimensions that such universities can bring on the table, we cannot. And that is why I say this is extremely important. And to add a further uniqueness to that is one of the founding principles of the university, which has been to go the Indian way. In fact, nearly all of our modern universities have borrowed essentially the ideas and the processes and the paths from the West, where modern universities were first established. In that process, of course, we have done very well. We have gained a lot of understanding, knowledge, but in that process, we have also lost some things. What we have lost is a methodology to understand the Indian knowledge. Our society has been around for a very, very long time, and it's very natural that any such society will develop a storehouse of knowledge over that time. What has happened in the modern times is the language of expressing the knowledge has changed quite dramatically. We now have what we call the scientific methodology to interpret and understand any knowledge. We don't yet have a good interpreter, as we like to call it in computer science, of the ancient knowledge that we have accumulated in the modern idiom. There have been attempts, but there have not been a systematic, proper attempts, because these attempts can only take place in universities. That's where the spirit of inquiry exists in its true form. There have been impediments also. Of course, on one hand, there are multiple sides from which impediments come to these attempts. One is, one side says, oh, you cannot question. Whatever is there has to be accepted. The other side says, oh, that's too old and you are just too old-fashioned or, stuck in the past in trying to understand that. Neither of them are correct. Knowledge is neither old nor new. Knowledge is knowledge. What we need at any point in time is take any knowledge and interpret it in the modern or the current set of current language, the current methodology, and make use of that. To me it's clear, I'm sure all of you will agree, that India has developed tremendous knowledge over the millennia. Just to take one example would be the Ayurveda. There is a huge potential there, but it has to be realized properly, because you need, like I said, the scientific method to establish the principles and the treatments and then apply them. Again, there have been attempts, but they are, I would say, at best sketchy. We need a much deeper dive and understanding of that. And particularly the students sitting here, you have a great opportunity. You are at a wonderful place. The opportunities are endless. Please do make use of this. Please do study everything with an open mind, and some of you hopefully will make an attempt to bring our knowledge system in the modern language. And therefore, only then I would say we can make the best use of it. Also, since I am talking to students here, one more thing I would add is that it's very important to maintain, when you are doing an inquiry into any subject, is to maintain a sense of humility. Very often we confuse truth with what our methodology can establish as truth. To be more specific, let's say, since we're talking about the modern scientific methodology, there is a difference between truths and scientifically established truths. It is actually a mathematical theorem. I come from a domain where we look at these sort of things. That's the set of scientifically establishable truths is a small set of all truths. So once you keep that in mind, you approach any process of inquiry with a certain humility that, okay, we will get something, we may not get something, but let us keep our feet grounded and pursue the direction that we are doing. It is very important, nevertheless, to not lose heart. If you are going in a certain direction, pursuing, a particular to establish something, and you are not succeeding, one should not lose heart there, because a scientific inquiry is such that most of the time there will be failures. Only very occasionally you will succeed. So one needs to learn to enjoy failures. Only then one can achieve true success. So with these words, I think I have taken enough of your time. We started with some very melodious tunes. At the end also there are we expect some truly melodious tunes. So I think this in between the non-melodious part should be as small as possible. So I thank you, all of you, for listening to me. I thank the leadership of the university for considering me worthy enough for this honor. Thank you, and I wish the university a great success and a great future.